The distinction of valedictorian is given to the graduating senior who has completed at Wheeling Jesuit University at least 90 of the required 120 credit hours and has the highest academic average for those credits. The valedictorian for the class of 2016 is Elizabeth Bain.
Thank you, President Fleming, Dean Phillips, Father Timothy Kosicki, faculty, staff, distinguished guests, parents, family, and most of all, my fellow graduates. Well, congratulations, guys, we did it. This was not easy. I know some of you have heard me joking all week, saying, I just showed up for 4 years and they're giving me a degree. But in all seriousness, this was a lot of work. We have to admit that none of us would be here without a lot of help from some very important people. Our families, and each of us will define that word differently, have supported us through so much. Specifically, I think we all need to thank the mothers in the building today. Tomorrow is Mother's Day, and I know most of us probably haven't picked out a gift yet. So let's at least give these amazing women a round of applause. Hi, Mom. Hi, Nana. Thank you for being incredible role models for us mothers. While our biological relatives are how we typically define family, we should recognize how that term applies to the people we've come to know at Jesuit. For some of us, a family is a team we played on. For others, it's people we perform with in choir or band, in theater, and for others, it might be club members or fellow majors. I know I wouldn't have even survived the first semester of my freshman year if it weren't for the lifelong friends I made on 3rd floor Sarah Tracy. By the way, 3rd floor Sarah Tracy girls from our class include the valedictorian, the salutatorian, the class president, and the entire Ignatian Honors graduating class. That's pretty awesome. The fact that this institution produces so many successful female intellectuals is no accident. We have multiple incredibly strong and intelligent female role models in the faculty, both in the humanities and the sciences, who provide an environment in which women can thrive academically. Just as a whole, we have some of the most dedicated and most underappreciated faculty in the world here. Personally, the chemistry department has become a home away from home for me. I know my classmates in other majors feel the same way. Our little school family consists of Mom, Mom 2, Crunkle, and Pa. And I know that Pa, or Dr. Caulfield, would give anything to be a part of this graduation ceremony right now. As most of you know, Dr. Caulfield suffered a stroke earlier this semester. I had the opportunity to go visit him a few weeks ago. And though speaking was very difficult for him at that time, he persisted in teaching me all about how you can see rotational fine structure in the UV visible spectrum of benzene if you make the slit width small enough. Now, if that doesn't prove to you how dedicated our faculty are, I don't know what else will. None of us would have made it to this point without their guidance, patience, and dedication. I know I certainly would not be up here right now without them. I also wouldn't have survived without music. I wanted to mention Professor Traeger for keeping music in my life and teaching me so much. Besides teaching us in the classroom or lab about our respective subjects, I know the faculty, as well as staff and administrators, strive to teach us to be more compassionate and caring people. I've had amazing role models and confidants here, like Dr. Sylvester and Father Steltenkamp, who both listened to me, all my problems, and encouraged me to be a better person. I suspect many of you can think of someone on this campus who has filled a similar role for you. I like to think we're leaving this school better people than when we arrived. As freshmen, we hear a lot of quotes which might sound pretty cliche, but there's one that really drew me to this school and really stuck with me in my time here. You've heard a lot about this quote already today, but I'm going to talk on it a little more. This was the quote adapted from Father Pedro Arrupe, the Superior General of the Jesuits from 1965 to 1983, women and men with and for others. This place taught me to make that a life goal, because when it comes down to it, we're all on this journey together. When we leave this place, the memories we're going to cherish forever are the experiences we had with other people. The stories we're going to tell for years after this are not going to be about times we spent alone studying for an exam. The things we're going to tell our children or nieces or nephews about, perhaps in some cases when they're old enough, are the experiences we had with our friends, the late night sheets runs, the last blast carnivals, the usually civil political debates, the long drives with a best friend with no destination, and the just dance parties and hot lounge. It's other people and the relationships we have with them that give our lives purpose. So how can we translate our Jesuit experience and the relationships we have come to value to our lives after graduation? I know we're all terrified about being adults in the real world, and rightfully so, because none of us know what we're doing. But we can take solace in the fact that no one else knows what they're doing either. My papa always said, I don't know what I want to be when I grow up. And he kept saying that until the day he died. And yet he lived an incredibly fulfilling life and was one of the smartest, most compassionate human beings I've ever met. He lived in the moment and was always open to whatever life presented to him. He focused on relationships, not degrees or job titles. So if other people's lives are what make our lives memorable, then don't we have a responsibility to make others' lives livable? On top of our adult responsibilities, the world is full of so much hate, bigotry, ignorance, violence, poverty. The list goes on. It's pretty scary. But how do we respond to that all? First, we know we must have a response. We can't just stand by silently. That's what women and men with and for others means. The for others part is clear. We must stand up and fight for the dignity of our fellow humans. But we're not expected to fix all of the world's problems on our own. When it comes down to it, the core of this message is rooted in the with others part. We're not called to save the world. We're called to live in it and be present to it. This quote challenges us to get to know others, those who are different or unfamiliar. It challenges us to view others as members of a family, as we have here at Jesuit. Hate stems from fear, and we fear what we don't know. But when we form relationships with people, that fear and that hate disappears. My papa constantly fought for the rights and dignity of everyone around him, because people were where his roots were. So I guess that's my advice for all of us here today. Make your life rooted in being women and men with and for others, because careers, titles, houses, cities will all go. If you dedicate your life to people, there you will truly find purpose. Thank you.